I'd like you to develop your vocabularies. The last time we had vocabulary counts. Vocabulary. How would you describe which of these do you think most deserve to be saved? You know, when we say to be saved, it's something like we need to protect it from people who are cutting all down trees, making small islands to urban places, which so needs to be protected. Now, in your opinion, how would you describe the places in the photo, Kyler? I'd like you to look at the pictures. How would you describe them? Can you tell me about the pictures?
In the first picture, castle mountains. It's mountain.
How about the second one?
The symbol are similar album is so a whole area. In first is a forest and a mountain, a high mountain and have people sit down on the mountain.
Sitting on the rocks of the mountain.
Sit on the rock.
And how about the second one?
And the second is a season, ocean
Oh, what this? What's this?
in the sea, yeah, in the island,
Island.
island, and the water is very blue, so
Clear. Clear. Right? Crystal clear. Exactly.
if you don't have a rabbit,
What? There's a rabbit?
like water around in on the sea. What?
What's that? Rabbit?
Uh,
Did you see rabbit?
with
Whale.
water, Nemo.
Nemo? What are those? Animals? Sea creatures?
No,
Nemo? What are you referring to? There are
rabbits.
there are rabbits in the sea. Rabbit. Rabbit in the sea. In the island. That's so random. Yes, there are. Yes, exactly. Okay. Are they okay? Trash. Trash? Ah, trash. Why rabbit? Trash. Okay, that's okay. I understand now. You mean that there are floating trashes on the sea, right? And there are also garbage in the islands. That's what you meant? Is that what you meant? Yeah. I just think. It's fine, it's fine. Anyway, thank you so much for describing the picture. Now, in the first picture, as you can see a mountain. A mountain that shows a rock, right? A big, enormous rock. And then it gives you a beautiful view, a scenic view of the countryside or maybe a forest. Now, whenever you're in the mountain, how would you feel whenever you're in a mountain? On a mountain, sorry. Jack, how do you feel whenever you're in this spot? How would you feel about it?
it will be the place that I can have more pressure around the lowers. And I can see more landscape in the highway and it look more overview.
Yes, okay, thanks so much. So that's a good one. Whenever you're in a mountain, on a mountain, it's actually a good thing because you could like inhale and exhale fresh air, right? Would you agree with that? Because it's a high area of the land, and usually the air in on the mountain are actually like fresh because there are so many trees on it. Anyway, how about the second picture? How would you? Uh, the picture shows an island. I think most of you pronounce this Island. Okay, it's pronounced island with silent S. Island. Anyway, this is the Great Barrier Reef. The biggest, the most enormous reef in the whole world. And it's usually so big, and there are so many islands. Or when we say small islands such as this one, we don't call this island actually. We call this islets. Okay? Islets are actually smaller than an island. All right. So the Great Barrier Reef is a very important reef in the Earth. It's because, that's what I'm saying, it is the biggest reef in the whole world. Therefore, if there is a reef, it is usually the home for. Reefs are home for. Who lives in a reef? Huh? Who lives in a reef? Mary. Animals, exactly. Marine animals live in barrier reefs. So therefore, it needs to be protected as well. But as you can see here, it's a huge place where a forest. You can see maybe it's like a very big forest, right? Or enormous forest. So therefore, forests are also a place or a natural habitat for animals. For so many land animals, there for everyone. Let me ask you a question. Which of these two do you think deserves to be saved? Is it the vast forest? Is it the Great Barrier Reef? Linda, could you give me your opinion about this one? Which of these two do you think deserves to be protected and saved?
I think it's the Great Barrier Reef.
Could you tell me why?
This is an environment for many animals who live here, like the marine animals. So that we need to, I think it needs to be saved.
I do agree on your opinion, partially. But how about the forest? The forest is also home for so many land animals. Barry, would you agree on Linda's opinion? Oh yeah? Why? Why no? Just tell me why. She said that the Great Barrier Reef is where so much marine life lives, and it needs to be saved. So many animals live in the reef. Could you tell me why do you agree on the opinion of
I think in the reef is the we can the need to say this.
What? It's fine. Yes. Everyone, that's what I told you. I think if you would choose the forest, it's also okay. It's also okay to choose the Great Barrier Reef. But here's the catch. Why do you need to save these animals? Is it important to save these animals? Jack, why do we need to save them? Is there a problem with that?
I think that we must save these animals because it maybe can be endangered and it also vulnerable and it can be risking and this will be a bad effect to the diversity.
Diversity. Bio.
Yeah, biodiversity.
Exactly. That's good. Good job on using for your vocabularies. That's why I'm asking you these kind of questions because I am testing you if you were able to use the vocabularies that we had last time. That's a good one, Jack. Anyway, what are the problems here? Why do we need to save them? What do you think happened to the Great Barrier Reef? What do you think happened to the Catskill Mountains? Is there a problem about it? Do you heard news about it? No? Linda, have you ever heard news about this? No. Oh my gosh. You need to expand your your skills for that one. Listen, watch some documentaries and news about the environment. Because for IELTS speaking and listening, you need to understand that there are some questions that is related to the what's happening nowadays. Anyway, everyone. Now, Great Barrier Reef is having problems right now, like total problem. What happened to it? I'll show you a video about it, news about it.
Check shortly. The Great
And
Barrier
then
Reef
to watch a video.
is so big, in fact, that you can see it from space.
See, it's the longest.
People to remember that the Great Barrier Reef is much more than just one coral reef, which is what I think a lot of people think. So it's actually 3,000 separate individual coral reefs, and every one of them is in a different condition.
It's also the world's largest living structure, as well as the home to thousands of plant and animal species.
Like with trees in the forest, the corals are really the foundation of the habitat. They provide the structure for other organisms to live there. A normal, healthy coral reef is very colorful. There's tons of fish swimming around, often quite loud underwater when you're diving on a coral reef. It's healthy, so it's just amazing and beautiful.
But this vast ecosystem has been declining for a while. The culprit, mass coral bleaching. As the name suggests, coral bleaching strips reefs of their color, leaving them completely white. It happens when unnaturally warm ocean water causes coral to expel the symbiotic, colorful algae it needs to survive. Without this algae, the coral can't get the nutrients it needs and will starve to death if water temperatures don't return to normal.
Even small increases in temperature, when they're sustained for a long period, can be very stressful for them. It's just like a person, right? If you can go out into 114-degree weather for a short time, and you'll be fine. But if you were to stay out there all day, you would suffer badly.
In 2016 and 2017, the Great Barrier Reef was hit with a massive marine heat wave, leading to the longest coral bleaching events ever recorded. It devastated the reef, killing off nearly 50% of the corals.
Many
But here's the thing. This rate of bleaching is not only abnormal, but completely unprecedented in the Great Barrier Reef's history.
We have to remember that the Great Barrier Reef is now essentially a changed ecosystem. We've never had events as severe as those of 2016 and 17 before. The cumulative consequence of all of that is that we don't know how well the Great Barrier Reef is going to recover from those events.
Before the 1980s, bleaching events would occur periodically, but never on a mass scale. But global warming has rapidly accelerated this process.
From those coral skeletal records, we know conclusively that coral bleaching is a new phenomenon. The first mass bleaching event that occurred on the Great Barrier Reef was in 1982. As bleaching events are becoming more severe and more frequent, it's stymies the recovery. Right? It's almost as if you have a hurricane, start to rebuild, and then you get hit by another one.
In fact, a 2019 report by the United Nations warned that if global temperatures increase by just 0.9 degrees Celsius, which is expected to happen, coral reefs could decline by 70 to 90%. And if it warms by 1.8 degrees, 99% of the world's coral could be at risk.
As we approach 2 degrees of warming and go beyond 2 degrees of warming, we're probably not going to be able to protect the Great Barrier Reef anymore, and we're actually going to lose it as the valuable ecosystem that we have.
As if that wasn't enough, the reef is also endangered by local pollution, overfishing, and coastal development.
Local management of impacts such as pollution, runoff, sedimentation on reefs, overfishing, these things are critically important, and they need to happen in concert with combating climate change.
It's also important to note that the Great Barrier Reef is one of the best managed reefs in the world. But even with the best countermeasures, the Great Barrier Reef simply can't withstand the effects of climate change. Unless drastic international action is taken to reverse or halt greenhouse gas emissions, you might be facing a world without reefs as early as 2050.
My ballpark is that if we don't do something dramatic in the next 10 years, that we will have passed the time after which there will be no return.
So this all sounds pretty bad, but why should we care? What makes coral reefs so important?
Everybody, this is why.
First of all, coral reefs are an incredible source of biodiversity. In fact, they provide a home for 25% of all marine life, even though they take up just 1% of the ocean floor.
So we have 6 of the world's 7 species of turtles, dugongs, whales, dolphins, seabirds, 1,500 species of fish.
They're also worth billions of dollars in economic value. The Great Barrier Reef alone brings in over $6 billion in tourism each year. And reefs provide a natural buffer from violent storm waves, preventing property damage and loss of life. Reefs are an increasingly important resource for breakthrough medical treatments too. Right now, plants and animals found in coral reefs are being used to develop treatments for diseases like cancer and Alzheimer's.
So if we lose coral, we potentially lose, the key to solving diseases that we care about.
Not to mention, about 500 million people depend on reefs for food and work. But even though some of the damage is irreversible, not all hope is lost for the world's coral reefs.
We as a coral reef science community are becoming increasingly focused on human intervention in, basically preventing the extinction of corals and restoring reefs. The most important thing that we need to do is to stop and reverse climate change and global warming.
Okay. Now, everybody see how important the Great Barrier Reef is. Not just because so much marine animal lives there, or like around how much percentage of the marine animals? How much percentage of marine animals just live in the Great Barrier Reef out of hundreds? Jack, do you remember? 25% of marine life lives in a Great Barrier Reef. What if these barrier reef will be like destroyed because of bleaching, right? Reef bleaching. You know what causes this? What causes the bleaching of coral reefs?
climate change.
The temperature, the high increase of temperature. These high increase of temperature, it's because of what? Why do we experience this? Global warming. Global warming starts with, who did global warming? Humid? Is it just humid?
Yeah.
Who? It's the people itself. We are changing the weather. Building too much factories. We're now the ozone layer. You know the ozone layer, right, everyone? The ozone layer is a layer of the earth wherein the oxygen and it cannot break through. That's why we are staying on the ground, and we breathe air and we exhale air also. It's because of the ozone layer. Now people are keep on burning plastics. They keep on burning trashes, and they keep on building so much factories, and these factory usually like releases bad air, polluted air, which destroys our ozone layer. See that? So it's the human itself who's breaking all of it. The global warming starts with the people. Now, how do you change with that? Right? How do you? It starts with you. So why not make simple ways to, save the Mother Earth? Anyway, everyone, that's what I'm saying. It is very important to have the Great Barrier Reef. And for now, that we have so much problem about the Great Barrier Reef because as of we have here the heading of it, why the Great Barrier Reef could disappear by 2050. It would, if Great Barrier Reef will disappear in 2050, what will happen to the 25% of marine life animals who lives in the Great Barrier Reef, right? There are so many species of marine life who lives in, or which is their habitat. Now, I'd like you to show a video also about Catskill Mountains. I forgot. Anyway, Catskill, they're building some railroads in Catskill Mountain. Catskill Mountain is actually a home for also of so many land animals, especially wild animals. So Catskill Mountains is having a problem right now because there are so many illegal loggers, people who cut down trees without any legal papers. So that isn't good because that's what I'm saying. The Catskill Mountain, there are so many animals who live there. But yes, I do agree with you guys that I think one of these two needs to be protected is the Great Barrier Reef, right? Because it's very hard to, it's very difficult to like revive a dead reefs. Anyway, everyone, going back to our discussion. Now, choose the correct option in italic and complete the text. I'll give you only 2 minutes for this. Activity 2A now. 1 minute. Alright, let's answer now. Number 1. Oh, wait. Try to work on your vocabularies. Number 1. Waikiki Beach in Hawaii is one of the most blank places on earth. Devastating or stunning? Stunning. We don't use devastating because devastating is like a negative word. Its blank beaches attract visitors from all over the world. Magnificent or contemporary? Magnificent beaches attract visitors from all over the world. The Pacific Island beaches feel so blank that you can expect complete tranquility. Remote. When you say remote, like there's nothing else to do there but you swim and enjoy the view. But just a few kilometers away is the blank town with its many restaurants and nightlife. Fuzzy or bustling? No, it's bustling. Bustling town with its many restaurants and nightlife. It seems like the perfect place, blank by the perils of modern tourism. Yes, and point. So, however, this blank environment is now being threatened by construction of new homes and seawall protection. This? No, unique. Everybody, I'd like you to use your phones and try to understand the vocabularies in these texts. Each of them, I'll give you 2 minutes to translate and understand them. Please don't wait so that you'll be able to use the vocabularies whenever we'll have speaking. Barry, understand the words first. You understand all the words? So before we having speaking, hopefully you'll be able to use some of the words. Alright, let's be asking some random questions. Now, I'd like you to choose of the following and describe a place where you have visited before. Use the vocabulary from exercise 2A and use the relative clauses to provide extra details. Now, a place you find very tranquil. Could you give me a place where you visited before and it's very tranquil? Alisa, could you tell me a place where you visited before with you find it very tranquil? What's that? Hanoi, could you tell me what?
Retaking limestone Iceland weather red bottom. If you visit UNESCO World Heritage Site.
You think Google Anyway, yes, tranquil means something that's very calm, right? Tranquil is a place where it's very calm. CALM. Next one, could you tell me the most remote place you've ever been to? I love it. Which most remote place you've ever been to? Remote means something that is very far from the main city or main places. So it's like you just enjoy the scenic views, like that. Nothing much to do, but the place is a nice place to stay in.
And there's Sapa.
Can you tell me why?
Uh,
Why do you think it's the most remote one for you?
it is the most remote place in Vietnam. It is the north side of Vietnam, and it is the it have many mountain with it is so it is a stunning place because of the fog. In there we are so I feel I love my country.
That's great.
And
Sapa. Would you agree that Sapa is a remote place? Sapa. Have you ever been to Sapa? Oh, you haven't been. Jack, have you ever been to Sapa? Linda, have you ever been to Sapa?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, I haven't been to Sapa, so I cannot say if it's a remote place or not, but I think it is. Anyway, next one. The most stunning view that you have ever seen.
don't go.
Barry, which, could you please tell me the most stunning view? Stunning is the most beautiful, right? Could you tell me the most stunning view that you've ever seen?
Near the beach, you can use the boat to explore the cave in this. So the same limestone of biscuit.
You want to see? You want to see? You've ever seen, so that means you've already seen it. You want to see it again? You like that? Thank you so much for that. Anyway, everyone, now we have here a chance to listen to the student talking about the following. Today we'll be focusing on your fluency and coherence. You'll be able to use this. Let's pronounce this word first correctly. Everybody say devastating. Devastating.
Devastating.
Stunning.
Stunning.
Magnificent.
Magnificent.
Contemporary.
Contemporary.
Contemporary. Remote. Obscure.
Obscure.
Fuzzy.
Fuzzy.
Bustling.
Bustling.
Unspoiled.
Unspoiled.
Distinguished.
Distinguished.
Distinguished. Distinguished.
Distinguished.
Okay. Unique.
Unique.
Privileged.
Privileged.
Okay, everybody, I'd like you to listen to the students following test questions. For the students, could you tell me where are the strengths in the fluency on the coherence for these speakers? Now the question was, describe an important place in your country. You should say, what is it? Where it is? Why it is important, and explain how you feel about this place. Listen to this. Speak up. Oh, yeah. Anyway, yes, for fluency and coherence, you need to listen to the speaker. Was he or she able to answer the test question, speaking question smoothly and naturally speak? And then, was he or she able to organize his or her idea logically? And then was he or she able to use linking words? And was he or she avoid the long phrases and excessive self-corrections? Okay, listen now.
You will hear a student talking about an important place in their country.
A place that is important in my country is the Sagrada Familia. It's a famous church which is located in Barcelona, in northern Spain. It's really impressive. The architecture is from the 7th century, and has many interesting buildings. And this is one of the reasons why it's so important. Now, this style of designing buildings was unique and extremely modern. It is quite controversial. Many people hate this style, whereas others include a genius. He used a lot of bright colors, which are very impressive, and so for the people of Barcelona, his buildings are a strong part of our cultural heritage. It's taken many years to build the Sagrada Familia. This is something that people have strong feelings about because many people think that it should be finished already. When I was a child, it was incomplete, and we couldn't see the church towers. But over the last decade, we've been doing a lot of construction work, so now the towers are visible from different areas in the city. I think it's one of the most impressive buildings in Spain, and in my opinion, I think that everyone should visit it sometime. It's really stunning. It's very tall, and when I walked up the towers to view the city for the first time, it made me feel very proud of Barcelona and its history and its architecture. The views from the top show you how amazing a lot of the architecture in Barcelona is and how the city has changed over time. After visiting it, I always feel happy that it is such a great place.
Alright, now upon listening to that, was she able to give fluency in Koreans? Was she able to speak smoothly and naturally? Was she able to organize the ideas logically? Or was she able to use some linking words and avoid some self-corrections? Does anyone want to give a comment about it? No? It's fine. If you don't want to. Based on the book, although there are some hesitations, were you able to hear there? She tried some hesitation? Yes or no? Yes, there were times when she has hesitation by using fillers and self-correction. Okay, that makes it more hesitant on answering. And self-correction, these are isolated and only affect the fluency sometimes. That's what I'm saying. As much as possible, yes, it's okay to use fillers, but not too much fillers. Okay? And do not to self-correct you immediately. And then the students speak at length by expanding and developing her answer. That's a good thing. But the bad thing there is just that there are hesitations and self-corrections quite sometimes. Anyway, everyone, upon listening also, she was able to use some of the vocabularies for this unit. Anyway, everyone, today I'd like you to look at these expressions. Describe a beautiful place you visited when you were younger. You should say where it is, when you visited it, and what you did there, and explain why you thought it was beautiful. I will ask all of you a question of this one, and I'd like you to prepare in 2 minutes. I'll be asking random people to answer this one. Think about it. You don't have to write anything. Just think about it, and make sure you'll be able to use some of the vocabularies here. Your 2 minutes starts now. I'll be asking 3 students only, or everyone. Everyone. So everyone is prepared. Remember that? We're focusing on fluency and coherence, so make sure you're able to deliver your answers smoothly and naturally. And aside from that, make sure that you're able to organize the thoughts in your answers logically. And then use linking words as much as possible and avoid self-corrections. Your 2 minutes starts now. Do not use your phone for this one. How will you learn if you keep on using your phone? ChatGPT won't help you when you take the IELTS exam in front of the interviewer. Will you agree on that? Barry? Yes. I mean, if you keep on using a phone during the practices, searching the answers, would you think that it will help you? No. You cannot use your phone whenever you are speaking in front of the interviewer. That's right. Exactly.
Kind of so we have when we have trouble with work or something.
Yes, you could use that, but we're doing practical now, so I'm not doing it. 1 minute. Alright, time's off. Let's start. Very. No. Okay. Hopefully you'll be able to use some of the vocabularies here, okay? Barry, I'd like you to describe a beautiful place you visited when you were young. You should say where it is, when you visited it, and what you did there, and kindly explain why you thought it was beautiful. Your 2 minutes starts now.
When I was young, the time I level up in the one class, my family will have a journey to the certain certain place in my country. Like in my in the time I get into the 5 class, my family have the journey to and this is the place I very like, and I have the happy emotion when the first time I can go to this place because in this place mountain, big mountain, limestone, the beach. It's the first time I see all of this, so I feel very happy. So I think that is memory in my childhood. So I have I think that place is the most beautiful place in my childhood.
You've got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Barry, don't forget that the question that you were asked is about past tense, so it's about the past, okay? So you need to somehow use some of the tenses for the past tense. You were able to talk smoothly and naturally, but you were not able to organize the ideas logically. Next time, practice on arranging the thoughts and ideas logically, alright? Somehow also I have heard some hesitations there because you've used too much fillers, okay? And self-corrections. Avoid self-corrections, okay? Thank you so much. Jack. Jack, I'd like you to describe a beautiful place you visited when you were younger. You should, you may not start.
The place I think that is very beautiful. I have visited. I visited when I was young. It's a long place. It is a beautiful landmark with many natural limestone with many streams. I visited it when I was 6. I went with my family in that place. We do many interesting activities uh, like fishing, and we ate many delicious food. I think that is a beautiful place because the first time I have seen the stream limestone big with the so many fishes and
That's so much. Awesome. You ended?
yes, just moving.
You got 1 minute and 18 seconds. Well, speak of length, you need to make it not much more longer time. So you were asked about where it is. So everyone, this is not just for Jack. This is everyone. I like to make a story. So for example, you went to Halong. So the place that I visited before, the stunning, beautiful, the stunning place where I visited before, it's Halong Bay. Halong Bay is like, how far is Halong Bay from here? To tell us slowly. It's like 70 kilometers away from my hometown, and we travel there by car. And make a story about it.